Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Let's talk royals. Let's talk royals. See where we are on this subject. If you're into the royals, you know, you're into the gossip and all that go along with royalty and Great Britain as a whole. Now, Harry and Meghan's exit. Will they lose their titles? Is the burning question. Now, the Megxit summit that happened yesterday at 2 in the afternoon UK time. The summit of 2020. It's over for now. Prince Harry and Megxit are going to Canada. Yes, guys, they're off. And the Canadians are gonna take care of them. Now, they're gonna love it. They're gonna love it until they get too much traffic in their neighborhood, wherever they are going to live. Well, good luck to the Canadians. So, the summit, the emergency royal meeting. And by the way, he is the Queen's favorite grandson of all. Now, the Windsors. The crisis is not over yet. By a long shot. It's just begun. The Queen is not going to look like she's a weak woman and lost her mind. Oh no. And she has worded her statement to the effect that she is happy to let them go and have an independent life. But don't come back. No. She is, well, letting them live their life the way they want to live. Can she stop them? No. But she has control of what goes on in the royal household, the royal firm, the team. And they have let the team down. Now, a lot of people are saying Meghan is a narcissist. She has the traits And it's all coming out. It's all, for example, I think she's a chameleon, if you ask me. You know, Boy George sang that song. And she can change her colors, and she can be who she needs to be any given time. Now, I think she's a bit of a copycat. Now, this might be a problem. If we go back in time over the less than 2 years that she has been involved in the royal family, she has copied everything that Kate, William's wife, has done. Now, she didn't get all her ideas by herself, Meghan Markle. If you look back and read statements, look at pictures, and everything that Kate has done, she's doing. But she's going to do it better. She's going to do it better. You know, that movie, Stepford Wives? Meghan reminds me of another movie. Because, you know, Meghan lives in the movie. You know, she's an actress. So she gets all her ideas from movies. And she's acting them out because she's an actress. You don't even know what's real and what's fake about her. That's the scary part. She is deceitful, very cunning. All these things that are coming out about her, people don't trust what she says, and they don't even know what she's going to do next. That's the scary part. Everything is so secret. And look what's been going on behind everybody's back. But you know, it's been in the works for a long time. It has to have been. There's been subtle hints that she is not happy and this job is not for her. Because she's not making any money. She's not making no money. She's never going to be a billionaire working for free for a little tip money. You know, few million. And being told what to do, what to say, where to go, how to dress. She's not her own boss anymore. And she's scared to death. And she's made an ultimatum. And that's why it was crunch time. It was crunch time last week. Especially as they left for Canada for nearly 8 weeks. Nearly 8 weeks. And didn't do a royal duty for 8 weeks nearly. Nada. And they needed a rest because their mental status is in jeopardy. Now, there's lots of people with mental illness. But you know, these people, Harry, has access to the best therapists in the world. There is no excuse for his mental state unless he hasn't sought help of some kind. Now all this, he keeps, the family keep repeating it. Mental health, mental health, mental health. They're going to play on mental health because you know why? Because it's a sore subject and everybody goes through some kind of mental health at one point or another in their life. So now they are holding on to the mental health issues. Now they're going to use that and abuse it. And they can stop using mental health as an excuse. Because quite frankly, we're sick of it. And he uses the excuse of the death of his mother when all the media is around and all the flashing lights start flashing. Really? He can't handle it? He has flashbacks. You have flashbacks. Now, you should have sought help. You could have got help. You still can get help. Diana has been dead for a long time. Yes, she was our English Rose. She was popular. She was loved. And she was the Queen of Hearts in millions of people. She was the future. And of course her husband, Harry's father, kind of messed that up. Messed her dream up. Because he wouldn't leave his true love alone. And of course he married her when Diane died. Now, don't blame your father for nothing. Don't blame your father. And this royal title is a privilege to have, and it can be taken away. And he was born into the royal family. His father is going to be the future king. His grandmother is the queen. And that only goes so far. And if you don't have the public on your side, you are nobody. And maybe they should know their place. You can't tell the public, the citizens, what to do. And there's going to be mutiny. And people are going to start jumping ship. Because you only can push them too far. Because there's a lot of people that are in poverty. They don't have food on the table. They can't afford clothes. Their kids are on drugs. Everything, you know, they gotta work. They're stressed out. You talk about mental health. These people can't get help. They can't get what you got. They're too poor. They can't earn the money you earn. They didn't have money for education. Now these people, meaning the royals, meaning Harry and Meghan, and you should know your place. Your place is to serve. If you want to know. You were born to serve. You're a royal. You serve your country. That's your place. And you need to do it well. All these shenanigans flying off on trips, using taxpayers' money. You're eco-friendly, yet you keep flying off on these excursions. That's not even royal duties. Yeah, that's real eco. They think they're entitled. And nobody entitled to nothing. You earn respect. And quite frankly, a lot of people have had enough of it. Now, this one lie after the other. You start off with a lie, nobody's going to believe nothing you say. This secrecy, going behind people's backs, that's not the way to go when you are a public servant. You don't do stuff in secrecy, because then they feel you got something to hide. Yes, you got a private life, but really you don't. The public owns you, because without citizens and fans, your empire will crumble. And our heritage, our history will go right along with it. And we're not about to let that happen. You married a woman from another country. She's an American, but she don't even like living in America. She don't like Trumpety Trump. No, she doesn't. And one part of her royal duty was to show up at an event that Trump was at for the head of state. He was a guest of the Queen. And because you don't like him, you didn't show up. Well, that's part of your royal duties. Whether you like Trumpety Trump is nobody's concern. Head of states, prime ministers, the presidents, dictators have to come together to discuss the future at one time or another. And they probably hate these people, but they have to deal with them in a respectful way for a solution to a crisis, to anything, to help another country out so we can live peacefully. And you don't show up? Like, who do you think you are? You're getting paid by the taxpayers to go to these events and represent. You can't even do that because you don't like Trumpety Trump. Now, we can tell you one thing that Princess Diana learned very fast. Don't never get into politics. You don't have the right to say a word. You need to know your place, and you haven't learned that. You don't want to learn it because you're not going to stay around for long. You knew this. It's tedious. It's boring. And your brain is exploding with boredom and tedious things. Having to, go to free events, get waited on, wave to the crowd, free meals, exercise, and you get to talk a lot. And you get to have your picture taken, your glamour shots. You get to show off your new $1 million outfit. And yeah, that is tedious. And you get to shake a lot of hands. Very tedious. And you get paid for it. Millions. Boy, there's a lot of people in the world that would like that job. Get free food, free travel around the world. You get waited on. At a cost. Yes, at a cost. You have to be willing to be a public figure. You can't get paid for doing nothing. You are going to have to earn it. But this is not living, is it? It's not living, as you say. There's one thing, existing. But you can't just exist. One has to thrive. And you said that on national TV. So, we got the hint that you weren't thriving. Your brain is exploding with boredom. Now, you wanted the royal title. You wanted the royal wedding. You wanted that fantasy fulfilled. You have ticked the box of things to do. Your bucket list. Now you're working on the next venture because you've did that, done that. You wanted to live in a castle. You got your wish, a Frogmore house. You're living on the grounds of one of the famous castles in the world. Windsor Castle. In Berkshire. And that's where I'm from. Berkshire in England. And you have turned your nose up on the British people. We're too pompous. You don't understand British humor. If you can't beat them, you gotta join them. And you will have to find your way. You have to find that path. You have to be your own person. Not nobody else. You have to find your calling, your own ideas. You have to find your own entertainment. But no, you copy other people's ideas. Well, they do it. Like, we're just going to go back to Kate because that's who you're mimicking. That's who you are copying. And no wonder she doesn't like it. No wonder the public, the media's talking about you, Meghan. Because, like I said, you are a chameleon. And you don't know your place. You certainly needed to be knocked down a peg or two. Because nobody owes you nothing. Nobody owes you nothing. And you probably don't like the idea that you're going to have to curtsy to her one day. And you think you're equal to Kate. You're not equal to her. You are in a different league. Your husband is never going to be king. He's way down the pecking list. 6 in the line. And that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen unless they all fly together and the plane goes down. And that's not going to happen. And who came up with the idea of putting your hand, cradling your stomach, your belly, your tummy? Well, Kate was pregnant a long time before you were, and she was doing that. But she wasn't so overwhelming with it. It got a bit weird. And we got to thinking, why did you do that on every event that you went to? Because you were branding. You were branding that. That was gonna be, you thought you were gonna make money on that? Brandon, this is the new thing to do, is hold your tummy with your hand. It's a new way of engaging with a baby. And you're going to brand that? Or was it because you just wanted to ruin the media's photos? One or the other. But it was very annoying that you would do that when you were only a couple of months pregnant. And then you got people talking. Are you faking your pregnancy? You keep holding, what are you holding up there? It's not going to fall out. You know, babies just don't fall out of your womb. But then people got to talking and the media got to taking pictures, and then they blew them up and they were like, what's that? Is that something tied around her stomach? It's moving. It's one there minute and it's gone the next. How does that happen? You got people talking about what they really shouldn't have been talking and thinking. A surrogate? And then there was a woman kept on popping up. Like she's popping up on different events. And then she's pregnant and she's getting bigger and bigger, and she was popping up on all kinds of events. And then the secrecy of the birth, the announcement. We don't even know really what day this baby was born. We don't know what time. We don't know where. Oh no. She doesn't want anything released on doctor's visits or anything like that. Why? This whole... You're not meant to have secrets like that. The public has the right to know what's going on, because that's the point of you being a royal. That you are to show your baby, especially when the public is paying you. And when you have a baby, that's a thing to do. You have to show your baby. It's part of your duties. You give the public a little glimpse. That's all they need. It doesn't mean they're in your life every day. Now, Kate and William are living quite a normal life. They're in the limelight, but people don't harass them. People get a little bit here and there. They get updates. They get their pictures, stages of them growing up. They get a photo of their first day at school. You can't be a royal and hide from the public. You can't hide your life. Now with this independence, this new independence that you seek, is you can't have your cake and eat it too. Talk about being biracial and racist. This is kind of like the same thing. What you're doing, what you're saying, what you're accusing people of being. Now we're sick of the racist card. Sick of it. A lot of Americans play the racist card. And don't bring it over to England, playing the racist card, when we have all kinds of race in England, all kinds of religion, all kinds. We're not racist. You don't know the humor. And Kate's been through this. There's a lot of royals that have been through this. You have to be like a tortoise, you know, a turtle. You have to grow a hard shell on your back. You can't beat them. You must join them. You don't have a sense of humor. And you need to let it run off your back. Because you'll never make it. You've given up too easy. You haven't even learned the job. You didn't even want to learn the job. It's not for you. Like I said, you don't want to just exist. You want to thrive. No, you want to be a millionaire. You want to be a billionaire. You want to be up there with the billionaires and live a billionaire's life. Because nothing you own in England is yours. That's the problem. You working is not getting you nowhere. It's not getting you rich. And you're not getting to own anything. That's the problem. You don't have anything to call your own. Everything is on loan and can be taken away. All the Queen's property is not hers. It's handed down to generation. It's owned by taxpayers. It's owned by the monarchy. They are the keepers of the castles to make sure that it goes on for generations to come. Nothing is anybody's. It's everybody's. And Canada is going to welcome you. Not. Because Canada and America are getting just as loopy as the British over this. They are not happy. They don't want it. They don't want the drama. They don't want your problems that you're going to bring. Now the next minute, they're going to cry racist over there. She's never going to live in America because she don't like Trumpity Trump. And she thinks she's going to be a president one day. Oh my goodness. We definitely wouldn't want a kind of person like you being a president. That won't never happen. And you can't be racist. But you are the biggest racist of them all. Takes one to know one. Nobody would know you biracial, that your mother was black and your father was white. That's not the biggest deal here. That's nothing. And nobody really cared about that. But you're the one that brought the racists up. You're the one suing people. Now, the letters. If you don't want nobody to know anything, don't you think you should never have written to your father at this stage? When all this rumors and all this stuff was going on, that you wrote a 5-page letter to your father in such anguish, crying, upset, shaken, disgusted. Yet your letters were handwritten, nicely written, spaced out. That didn't look like a person that was stressed, angry. You used the words you used in them. What was going on? What was going on with your family that you wouldn't invite one member of your family, only your mother, of course, because, you know, she believes everything you say, and you're supporting her and in her lavish lifestyle, and your father said that he did the best he could for you. You had a good education and you were a spoilt brat. And obviously he had you later on in life. What has he done to you? Well, nobody heard of you before. Nobody have heard of you. You wasn't very, you weren't a popular actress. Nobody heard of you. You do a made for cable series, Suits, which, by the way, didn't your husband, your ex-husband, get you that job? It looks like you really didn't do it by yourself. You had a little hand. Your husband had a little hand in that to kick your career off, to get you that part. You didn't do it on your own merit. It was kind of handed to you. And I guess it worked out well. You got a leading part. And you had a few, I don't know, commercials, acting roles. You did some speeches. You did some charitable work. But that was to get recognized. That was to get recognized. Now, we don't know what happened to your marriages, because apparently you had one annulled. We don't know what happened to them. But this could be another secret. And your ex-husband's not talking, because he too is quite famous, and he doesn't want to lose, and you know, he doesn't want anything happening to him in regards to speaking up about anything, you just might sue him for defamation. But what's happened to the family? What happened to your family? All the things they said about you, people thought they were jealous and mean and envious, but they were given a warning to what was to come, and it's coming true. They said this would happen. She's that kind of person. They know her. They advised Harry not to marry her because of the person she is. Whether you believe it or not, the things they said is coming true. But why did she not invite anybody? And who's to say she ever invited her dad? She probably convinced him to fake the heart attack so it wouldn't come back on Megan that she didn't invite her father to the wedding. Now, she was mad because he gave that letter to the paper while he sold it. Now, why did he do that? I don't know why he did it. Only he knows why he did it. And he wants to know why he can't have a photo with them all together. He said just one. And then if you're not happy about it, you can just fake it. You know, because she's good at that. If you can't make it, fake it. It's the motto to live by. It's the way of the royals. Just fake it. Because they're faking it every day. When they're out there working, you think they smile like that all day? Who could keep that up? They have to fake it. But not everybody is not happy doing their job because they believe in what they're doing. And you know, Kate said, or William said, when they're out, they are working people. They are working. And that's why they don't fool around holding hands like lovesick birds. They said they're out here to do a job. If you were at the workplace and you worked with your husband, you're not going to hold hands and kiss each other all day, because nobody does that on the job. Even if you're not the royals, anybody that's married on the job, they don't fool around like that, because it's not the place, because they're at work. And it doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right. Now, she thinks every moment that she is in the public eye, she has to hold her husband's hand. She keeps looking for him, turning her head. You do notice that? Like, where are you? Get here, hold my hand. Don't move too far away from me. Kind of like that. And she's watching every move he makes. You can see that. Is that a narcissist? Is that a controlling freak? And then, like I said, she has to hold his hand. You are working. You're not an event like out for, you're at a tennis tournament and you're out. You're not on duty. You can hold hands and laugh and do whatever you want. But when you do royal duties, you're on duty. You're doing a job. You taking all that away by you holding hands and not being independent at that time. You go this way, I go that way. You're crowding him. You're suffocating him. They don't realize that when you're working, you just don't act that way. And it's irritating. Yeah, it was like, it's nice to see them hold hands, but not while you're working. Not when you're doing a job that you're getting good money and you're getting paid for. You need to concentrate on what you're there for. It's not a fun day out, you know, a vacation. So there's things that are, that the papers say. One thing about, you know, William and Kate. And Meghan is doing exactly the same thing. But she's having a different reaction from the public, from the news, you know, from the media. Because she's copying Kate, a chameleon. If you just go back and look at it and pay attention to her photos, compare them with Kate, her pregnancy. Kate and William branded their company, tea towels and cups and stuff, and branded them so they could make money on their website. And Meghan's come up with the same idea as Kate did. So she says, well, they can do it, so can we. And it doesn't matter what Kate's done. Well, if she can do it, so can I, but I'm going to do it better, and I'm going to brand it. Everything I do, I'm going to brand it. Like holding the baby with the hand. She branded that. That's a technique. And it's her invention. And she's going to brand it now. She encouraged everybody, every woman, to do it. In the name of the Royal Sussex brand. Everything she touches is going to turn to gold. The clothing thing they did not long ago, you know, which they are branding baby clothes. Archie. Now, they don't want him being photographed because they are going to market him. They're going to brand him. He's going to be a household name. That's why they don't want the public seeing him. Because they don't want him photographed. Because they're going to choose when and when. Because they want all the money for it. They don't want the newspaper making money. They better be paying them for that photograph. Nothing they do is going to be for free anymore, guys. Nothing. They want every penny that everybody else makes off of them. They're going to make them pay a fee, and you're going to get this, and this is how much you're paying me. Oh yeah. Everything is going to be branded. And everything is gonna cost you an arm and a leg. Now, all this business, they've been talking to people. There's Disney, there's a voiceover. That's in the works. That's completed. There's other things. A company that they've started up a long time ago, when all this went down, this meeting that Harry, you know, announced their exit, all these companies were being signed. They were signing up for this, they were signing up for that. They were even getting their visas or temporary green cards to live in Canada. She don't want to leave Canada. She's a resident of Canada. She must be a legal resident there, because she can't really live out of the country for so long as she'll lose it. So there's another reason why she wants to stay there. And there's plenty more work deals to happen in Canada, which are a lot of better deal than that she would get in England, paying the high taxes they have to pay there. I don't know what it is, 40-50%. I'm not sure what you have to pay, but probably it's very high. And Canada's tax is probably going to be pretty up there too. But USA is a little worse, a lot worse, they say, a lot. And there's a reason she's doing all this, guys. There's a reason. Yeah, it's all to do with, they want to be, what she wants to be is, she don't want the Queen to be the Queen of Canada no more. She wants to be the Queen of Canada. She's the royal, the only royals, and they want to be the center of attention. That's why they want to be in Canada. That's another reason. She wants to be the head of that state. It's a plan, guys. You have to like think ahead, because they are way ahead of the game. Oh yeah. Could be this mutiny? You know, it's mutiny. Is she trying to take over? Is she trying to take over? You have to watch people like that have gave us some insight of what they're about. The lies, the deceit, secrets. Now, we hate secrets. Now, William and Kate are encouraging people to speak out and don't keep secrets. That's why their children are brought up that way, to be open and don't keep nothing in. If you got a problem, we are an open book. You can come to us. You can trust us. And that's what they're about. Because they sure know what it's like to be lied to, and the secrets, because they've lived it. And they're not going to have their children be treated like that and told to be quiet for the monarchy, or it doesn't matter. Mental health, this is their and now that's their thing, mental health. They talk about it a lot and have done for a very long time. Now it's all of a sudden it's Meghan's idea. Now she's talking about mental health, and so do you know what I mean? She is a chameleon. She's this narcissist, and she's getting on everybody's nerves. Just even thinking about it should give me a headache. That you can never trust this kind of person. You can't trust what they're going to do next. And if they do it, it's for their own needs and wants. It's a power kick. And it's going over her head. Now she's taking a runner. And people are saying she won't set one foot back in England. Well, I'll tell you what, if she keeps her royal title, which she don't deserve one bit. She has to step in England and do her duty if she wants to keep that royal title, because it's a teamwork, husband and wife, Sussex. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex means you are a team, unless you are divorced. So you have to do these roles together. Otherwise, you're not going to... How does that work? You keep your title but don't have to go along with your husband to do anything? No, because it's going to be a nut roll. And people are not going to put up with that. And pay taxpayers' money. This is what it all comes down to. They don't care what you do, where you live, what you do, what your job is. You make money, you make money. You pay your taxes on it, you pay your taxes on it. They don't care about that. But what they care about is British tax money that goes, that you have to work for, that the British company, the British citizens to your company pays your security. They pay for your lavish lifestyle. They are paying for whatever that money goes to. And it's a two-way street here. Respect is a two-way street. There's no racism. It's a little bit, you know, the comments that they make and stupid stuff they do, that's nothing. That is absolutely nothing. And the royals too well know they've been through it all. Much worse. Much worse. They just got a few more things to say about Meghan because of what's happened. So they got a, you know, nice juicy story, and they make jokes about it, and you, if you can't, you have to laugh with them. Laugh with them. Now, this mental issue they keep bringing up is, you know, that William has got some mental issues, mental health issues. Well, I think they both have mental health issues right now. They both had a breakdown. They had to run. They had to run to the island in Canada to get therapy and some peace and quiet. Yeah. And they are denying. Whoa, guess who's denying? I don't know who he is. Is the Prime Minister of Canada? Whoever this billionaire is denying. Is deny about him doing this and that and put it in his name for Meghan and William. Who's paying for this lavish 7.5 week Christmas vacation for nearly 7 weeks? Who gets that much time off as a working royal full time? They do. And this is why I say the royals knew what was going on, because they were let go for nearly 8 weeks and never came back. And who knows who they were talking to. But we know while they were gone, they were talking to a lot of people. They were busy bees. They were busy bees. They were busy making deals. They were busy going to open their new website. They were gonna sign contracts. They were making deals. They were making money. You know, that clothing that made them $400 million. Now, $400 million is a lot of money, because not even William has $400 million. Not even Harry has $400 million in the bank. He's worth about 10 million, maybe 50 million. That's his own money because it was inherited, handed down to him. But the deal they made was $400 million, I think, or pounds. I think it was dollars. But it doesn't matter. Now they got a taste for that. And they're going to make a lot more than that. They're going to make millions and millions. 400 million. Just think about it. All those millions time over, they're going to be a billionaire. They are reaching for the stars. And they want to be the star of the show. That's all it is. She wants to make it. She don't want to break it. Yeah, she don't want to break it. She wants to make it and fake it. The fake smiles. Is it fake? She's an actress. See, you can't trust her. She's not like Lady Diana. And she's trying to be like her too. Yeah. She'll never be Lady Diana. She'll never be the Queen of Hearts. She'll never be our English Rose. She'll never walk in her shoes. She'll never fit in her shoes. And she was a people's people. And people liked her. She was doing worthy causes. And she worked hard to bring her children up. She defied all odds. And she was making it, but she was not faking it. She was making it. She was real. And we know damn well. We heard her personal thoughts. We see her tears. We see her hate too. But she handled it. And she worked through it. And she knew her place. So you'll never be Lady Diana, even if you married her son. Now, we think, you know, that they went and got some therapy and an all-inclusive resort, and they were hid away, and they were wined and dined. And they're probably going to be moving into their new home, wherever that's going to be. But it's going to be a secret. It's going to be a secret because when they're in Canada, they do as the Canadians do. What goes on in Canada stays in Canada. Oh yeah, guys. Oh yes. Because they're private. They're not working as a royal when they're in Canada. You can't... I don't even understand part-time royals. That's the part that we don't even understand. And it's kind of never happened. You're either all in or you're goddamn all out. Because this gets too confusing. Well, I just don't think that's going to work. And people are not going to be happy. But you know what? The Queen has not made her final decision. The final decision of what exactly is going to go on has not been finalized. Like, you are okay for now. And she didn't call you royals when she made her statement. She didn't call you by your title, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. She never addressed you that way. She addressed you as part of the family, especially Harry, they're talking about, because she probably couldn't care less about the goddamn wife. And she's probably sick of her already. But she wants the best for her grandchild. She wants to give him a fighting chance. She doesn't want to be the blame if something happens. She wants to give him, or known to give him, all the opportunities and run with it. And if he fails, he fails. And don't say I told you so. Because she's not going to look like the wicked grandmother. So this is why she is giving him some space, some time. Because she's not going to go through the shit she went with Diana. That nearly broke her. Messed her up. Because we were furious of how she was treated. And how the Queen knew what was going on. Yeah. And she had to suck it up to the public. And make that speech about Lady Diana. And give her the respect by having a state funeral for Lady Diana. And she deserved it. Every penny. She is the mother of the future king. And she worked her ass off. And then she was gone. And her life was just beginning. Her new life. How she was gonna marry. Maybe. A billionaire. Oh yes. It looks like she may have been going to marry a billionaire. And maybe have another child. Ho 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 ho. God forbid. And have that little girl she desired. But that wasn't to be. And she's probably looking down and thinking, oh, Harry, Harry, Harry. You know what she used to call him? Now, she had a sense of humor, Diana. Now, anybody could have took that like, boy, you don't think much of your son, putting him down like that. Embarrassing him. The airhead. The airhead. Of course. You know, and she said, you know, he's the spare heir. You know, all these things. Now, you could take that 2 or 3 different ways, couldn't you? No, it was all the humor. What was going on in the time, in the day. But, you know, people could took that the wrong way. But anyway, I don't know if you guys are interested in the royal family, because I'm quite interested in it. But I'm not into them that much, and I wish things would, I'd like things to change. I would like things to be a little bit more cut back. I'm sick of, you know, the taxpayers, which I had to pay at one time over there, you know, as I am British. And, you know, they need to cut back. It's costing them a whole lot of money that the taxpayers have to keep paying for. How many more children you going to have? How many more we got to support? You know, it's kind of like that. Where, you know, you live in the USA, you're only paying for a president. You're not paying for the whole goddamn, the aunts, the uncles, the, you know, the nieces, the nephews. But in England, we're paying for all that, and plus our prime minister and all the guards and security. I mean, God knows what else we're paying for. And yeah, we're one of the richest countries in the world. We're a lot more richer than the United States of America. We are a small country, and I'm just talking about England, because England's different. England's on their own. We're a very small country, but we're united though, like United Kingdom, when everything comes, the Commonwealth and the monarchy, where we fly the flag, the British flag, all share an interest of what goes on in England. They're like shareholders, if you will. And but you know, these countries, for the price they pay for help, if they needed protection, is they pay into the monarchy and pay their dues, and that's what makes us united. And that's why probably, you know, the USA called them United States of America. You know where they got that from, because, you know, United Kingdom. And so, well, you know, you were British at one time, do you know what I mean? And but we got not a problem with that. Who cares about that? You know, you got your independence from United Kingdom, and that's not a bad thing, because we are still #1 close friends, allies, and would do anything for each other. Well, not everything, but we're very civilized and wouldn't harm each other, and no reason to, because we're civilized, it's supposed to be anyway. But you know, every country has bad things happen to them. Not everybody's gonna like everything that's going on. They don't like this, they don't like who's in parliament, they don't like who's in charge of who's running the country, who got voted in. This is why I like about voting, because it's a fair way. And yes, people are going to be disappointed in who gets voted in and who loses, but it's the only fair way, because the public, the citizens, are the ones voting. There's going to be winners and losers, and that's the name of the game. Now, maybe we should have a voting system. Who we should vote in and who should we vote out. Who we don't want royals and who should be a royal. We vote it out. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. I'm going to brand that. I'm going to brand it. Yes. You know, there's going to be a day that's going to happen, because we're getting sick of the shit. These royals thinking they could do anything they like, and the queen's obliging because they're family. But that's not going to work too much more, because we're going to start probably voting who we need as senior royals. it's like the judges. You get voted in. Supreme Court judges. You get voted in. You can goddamn get voted out. And that's what should happen. So the people get a say who they want to keep as royals, senior royals. If you're not doing your job and you're slackers, then you be voted back out again. I think that's a good idea myself. I think it's the only fair way. And let's make that a new rule this year. Let's get it right in on our bucket list. Let's vote for that. What do you think, guys? Think that's a good idea? Well, I do, because I think it might be the only fair thing to do now, in the light of them using a loophole to get what they want. A loophole, guys, the loophole. They have found a way to get around, because you know they're crafty and they work at it. They're smart, and they have people whispering in their ear. Yeah, they have people working for them, for their best interest, because they are going to be part of the team, and they want to be hired full-time as part of Meghan and Harry's team. They want to take them all the way. They want to take them beyond. Like the Queen said in her speech, first man on the moon. She never thought that would ever happen in her lifetime. But she was a witness to that. As she watched, like we watched, the first man to walk on the moon. Now, that's Harry and Meghan's dream. And at this summit yesterday, the summit, they were summoned, you know, what we call it, the summit. And according to the sources, the media, that Meghan didn't even need to be in the meeting. I thought she was a royal. I thought she was part of the team. I thought Harry and her were working as a team. But she didn't have to be in that meeting. And according to them, she wasn't on a conference call. Well, how about that? I'm in shock. She goddamn caused all this trouble and ran from United Kingdom back to Canada because she didn't want to face the music. And she's got nothing to say. She don't care what you have to say, because she knows her grandson is going to get what he wants. It's a Brexit deal, but it's a Megxit deal. And they don't want poor Harry having a nervous breakdown because his wife is not happy and can't do the job. You know, because he's been promoting her along his royal duties. He's been promoting his wife along the way. Yeah, so they were hassling, you know, hacking along the way. Oh yeah. Would you like to be a fly on their wall? You know, scamming Were they scamming? I'm beginning to think they are con artists. I'm beginning to think they are on the path of being cons, acting like felons, doing felonies, like conning people out of their money, finding loopholes, finding ways. They're not going the legal way. They're going a different route where they look for loopholes, working with charities. You can make a lot of money working for charities, and that's the loophole. They're supposed to be working for charities. It's a charity, but you're not supposed to be making money and gaining from a charity. It's supposed to be going to charity. Now they don't have to pay more than 5% into this charity that they have marketed, Sussex Royal Ale, and what else? And they want every penny from this charity to go into their bank accounts, foreign bank accounts. And they're probably going to cipher money out into these foreign bank accounts. And, the next minute they're going to come up with tax evasion. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen in the future. Tax evasion. I think they're working on that. Now that's what they're about. Charitable organizations that they want control of. They want full patent rights to these charitable organizations that they are setting up. They want to be in charge. They want to be ambassadors for it, but they want the ching-ching in their bank accounts. And that's how they're going to become billionaires. Because you are not going to make that much money doing what you're doing, and she ain't going to make much money doing what she's going to do, voiceovers here and there. You're not going to become billionaires that way. To become a billionaire, you got to have big dreams. Big dreams. You got to work hard. You got to sell yourself. Yeah, and they just sold themselves, didn't they? And they may sell their soul to the devil. And they've Harry has let the British down. The British people have cradled him since he was a baby, since, his death of his mother. And they're calling him ungrateful, and even his military buddies have some not so good words to say about him, and he has let his military down. He's let a lot of people down. He has turned his back on the British people, like he doesn't want to be British anymore. Like he wants his cake and eat it too. Is this what marrying a foreigner does to a person? Because, you know, a long time ago he could have lived abroad. He can live where the hell he wants to live. And he would get help doing it. But it's all happened since he met his wife. And they think she's brainwashing him because of his mental status. As one of our finest Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, some of his great sayings of all time live on today. They are his most famous quotes and to live by. Famous quotes of the great Winston Churchill. Words to live by, because this was our finest hour. This is how the British are united with tradition. Politics is more dangerous than war, for in war you are only killed once. A fanatic is one who can't change his mind and won't change the subject. I am easily satisfied with the very best. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. And success consists of going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. And if you are going through hell, keep going. You have enemies? Good. That means you stood up for something sometime in your life. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to have to change often. I never worry about action, but only about inaction. Yeah. You will never get to the end of the journey if you stop to shy a stone at every dog that barks. Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing great or small, large or petty. Never give except to convictions of honor and good sense. Success is final. Failure is not fatal. It is courage to continue that counts. For myself, I am an optimist. It does not seem to be much use being everything else. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. That's a good one. To be really happy and really safe, one ought to have at least 2 or 3 hobbies, and they must be all real. Nourish your hopes, but do not overlook realities. You must look at facts because they look at you. It is better to be making the news than taking it. To be an actor rather than a critic. I have in my life concentrated more on self-expression than self-denial. You never can tell whether bad luck may not after all turn out to be good luck. The true guide of life is to do what is right. Things are not always right because they are hard. But if they are right, one must not mind if they are also hard. I like things to happen, and if they don't happen, I like to make them happen. I think Megan might have read a few of his quotes that he lived by. You must put your head into the lion's mouth if the performance is to be a success. And these are traits of Megan. I think that she has read these quotes of the famous Winston Churchill. He was a writer. He was a son of a duke. He was royalty. He was an officer. He was the prime minister. He was a writer. And he was a very smart, educated man who knew his place. And thank you guys for stopping by. If you like more of the Royals, stay tuned. And don't forget to like, share, and sub to my channel. And press that notification bell so you can be notified on further events in the news around the world. And Canada welcomes the Royals of Sussex.